Haigaon. So the question is, does Ngarla have adjectives? Here in Europe, we stand in a grammatical tradition that stretches back to antiquity, to the study of Greek and Latin grammar. They did not distinguish an adjective class in the classical grammars. That came later. In order to answer the question whether Ngarla has adjectives or not, I'm afraid we are going to have to get fairly technical, linguistic. Anyway, so semantically, adjectives describe the most durable physical properties of nouns. That's how adjective semantics is described. So durable physical properties like size, shape, color, weight, smell, and taste. Syntactically, if we look at adjectives syntactically, where they occur in clauses and how, they are used as modifiers in the noun phrase, which is to say that they describe and help to define the head word, a noun. And as modifiers, they usually stand before the head word or after. Those are the two common alternatives. So in English it stands before. In Spanish often after, but not always. Also, adjectives are used as complements in copular clauses. Copular clauses that include the verb to be. So here is the subject, George. We have the verb and the complement. And morphologically, adjectives are in many languages compared. Not in all languages, but in many languages. And in Indo-European languages and many other languages, we find 3 degrees of comparison: fat, fatter, and the fattest. So if we now look at the Ngarla words that semantically are adjectives and see how they behave syntactically and what the situation is morphologically, if there are any inflections associated with adjectives. First, looking at these words syntactically, we have a sentence here where we have the 2 words big and small, gado and gambara, that modify head words in the noun phrase. So the head word in both cases is yogoro, dog. So yogorolo, kadongo, the big dog. In the ergative case, modinno, removed from, kunjarongora, the bone. In the locative case, I should in this instance here say that this is a detransitive verb. There are 2 case marking patterns associated with detransitive verbs in Ngarla. One of them is ergative, absolutive, and dative. And the other one that we have here is ergative, absolutive, and locative. So yogorolo, kadongo, the big dog, mondino, removed from, Kunjaro ngora, the bone, Gambara yogoro. The big dog removed the bone from the small dog. And here we can see that the modifiers, the words with adjectival meaning, evidently can occur either before or after the head noun. Where they occur doesn't seem to matter. So far, so good. Now compare to this sentence here. Ngonyingo, kadongo. So ngonyi, the demonstrative for something that is far away, and kado, big still, and they both take ergative case. Pungainho was beating Gambara, small. Pakudapali, really badly. So here, what happens here is that Kadu and Gambara are in fact the head words in their respective noun phrases. So this means something like the big one was beating up the small one really badly. So here we see that Ngarla words that semantically are adjectives can not only occur as modifiers, they can also be noun phrase heads in their own right, with a slight difference in meaning. So here these words mean big and small, here they mean big one and small one. Okay, so is there any morphological category associated with these words that are semantically adjectives? Well, as it so happens, you can compare them, but there is a but. So let's look at this example here. Nyimbamara Gambara, your hand small. And as it so happens, this is a case of inalienable possession, for those who know what that is. Ngayamara Kado, my hand big. What you can do here is add the intensifier mori, and you create the sense bigger. So Ngayamara Kado mori, my hand is bigger. Now, the but is connected to the fact that this intensifier mori, which is used to create the comparative form, is not used exclusively with these words that semantically are adjectives. It is really used with all types of words in the Ngarla language. So there is no inflectional category associated exclusively with these words. Yes, so what does that mean? What can we conclude? So in an article from 2005, Nick Evans and Toshiki Osada set up criteria for when words of different word classes can be considered to be merged. So when in fact there are not two word classes, but only one. So let's see what they have to say here. Members of what are claimed to be merged classes should have identical distribution in terms of both morphological and syntactic categories. Yes, this is definitely true when it comes to morphological categories in Ngarla. The words that are semantically common nouns, and the words that are semantically adjectives have identical morphological categories. Any semantic differences between the uses of a putative fluid lexeme in two syntactic positions. So, for example, as a modifier in the noun phrase, a modifier to the head word, and as a noun phrase head in its own right, must be attributable to the function of that position. That is what we saw. Kadu and Gambara meant big and small when used as modifiers, but the big one and the small one when constituting the head words themselves. And it is not sufficient to find a few choice examples. The words that are semantically common nouns in Ngarla and the words that are semantically adjectives are identical in all respects except for in one. You see, the words that are semantically common nouns never occur as modifiers in the way the words that are semantically adjectives do. And the words that are semantically adjectives, in fact, occur much more often as modifiers than as head words in noun phrases themselves. So, should we say that Ngarla has an adjectival word class based only on this difference in distribution? I would say no. Nouns and adjectives are one and the same word class. That is my opinion on the matter. I thought I'd finish this video by answering the question that I'm sure that some people are asking themselves by now, namely, are there only really 2 degrees of comparison in Ngarla? Small, smaller, and big, bigger. Well, morphologically speaking, yes, but you can create the superlative sense in this way here. Here we have Palagani panalo jiliakarango. Those children, Palagani, the demonstrative for something that is mid-distant, so it's not right here, and it's not very far away, but it's in the middle distance. Panalo, third person plural pronoun, and jiliakarango, children in the plural form. And then the 3 children to be compared are enumerated. And we have Morkangunya, oldest child, Karabalgoranya, middle child, and Nyiringonya, youngest child. By the way, can I just say that when it comes to terminology for relatives, this is where Australian Aboriginal languages get incredibly complicated, ridiculously complicated. This is something I could talk about for a long time, and maybe I will. We will see. Anyway, so this should be interpreted to mean out of those 3 children, the oldest one, the middle one, and the youngest one, Karabalgoranya Pialala Maganumori. So the middle one, and this is the third person dual pronoun in the locative form. So on them, the middle child on them, and Maganu is tall So literally this is taller still, but when you enumerate three things or three people, like here, to be compared, and you express yourself like this, this should be interpreted to mean out of those three children, the oldest one, the middle one, and the youngest one, the middle one is the tallest. Literally taller on them. And that will definitely be all for today. So I will see you later.